Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Tonight, we wrap up Week 3 with a good Monday nighter here between the Chicago Bears and the Washington Redskins. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. Leading this unit will be the big arm man out of Texas Tech. 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. One touchdown pass. He didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
And they get this all the way inside Chicago's 10. A big play there on the first play of the game. 72 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll make it 2nd and goal. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive of your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Throwing now is Mahomes. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Cole Beasley, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Redskins take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. 3 plays already in the end zone. That was quick.
We always talk about offenses understanding what they want to do before they go into a game, and they practice it. They have their script and the plays they want to open with. But defenses aren't just reactive. They have their own ideas as well. These ideas didn't get implemented very well. 3 plays and a touchdown already scored against them. Come on now, let's go.
Now the first carry for Ty Montgomery. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. The numbers on the ground for Montgomery in last week's affair. 15 carries, 66 yards.
They've won 2 straight games. They've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners. Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On the carry, it's Montgomery. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. An ideal start defensively. They already have the touchdown. Now they get the stop.
Just like they drew it up on the chalkboard. Does that sound dated? Right? Am I out of touch a little bit?
It's all right.
All right, grease board, heck, computer. Exactly what you want, though. Score on your first drive. Stop them on the first drive defensively.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. On the sneak, it's Bridgewater. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
It seems like a short distance, but a yard in this situation, Not easily done, so big compliments to the guys up front for creating some space, and especially the guy taking the snap and finding a spot, finding a sliver, an opening, and making it work.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A first down throw for Bridgewater. It's complete to Chris Conley. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Kalen Ballage, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. Elliott good on the extra point.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to run there.
On first down, they go right back to Cohen. Demario Davis there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 7, Mahomes. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. That one a first down pickup of 8. The numbers for Travis Kelce last week. 5 catches, 51 yards.
And that was a nice job there pulling that one in. Now, this is an offense that will certainly spread the ball around a bit. And this is a guy that defenses had better focus on.
Mahomes firing complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. The Redskins have the first down on a pickup of 18.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. After the penalty, it's Jones. It's a pickup of 19 yards on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard. That was huge after being behind the chains on first down to make this 2nd very manageable.
Yeah, how much pride do you have in an offense on first down to get that kind of yardage? Because it actually opens up your playbook on 2nd down. You can run it, you can throw it, you keep a defense off balance. I like that phrase, stand ahead of the chains, and they're doing exactly that.
Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so. Ooh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They go play action. Now Mahomes. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. That's sacked by Khalil Mack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, he really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player. When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
They run it with Balaj. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Watch out. Safety's creeping.
Now Bridgewater. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But you playing the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job. Finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Mike Williams, the intended target. But now it's 3rd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges.
And it's a fumble. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Balaj. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Kendall Fuller in on the stop. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
A second down throw for Bridgewater. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. That is caught at the 7. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong. Only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, you know, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. It reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, the first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, that's our identity, that's our bread and butter, that's the basis of our offense. We got to get that down right here, right now. I think we're seeing some of that in this running game here.
So did you not get that down, and that's why you were moved to the defense, or what?
I don't know for that reason, but I do know I saw a couple of guys throw, and immediately they were saying, you know, you need to learn how to backpedal.
Hey, you turned into a heck of a DB, though, partner. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest game, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. He's got a 1st down or more inside the 30. And down to the 27-yard line. 16 yards, a 1st down. Offensive line right now really freeing up the rushing lanes on this drive.
And we have to give them props. They've earned them. But these big runs that we're seeing, they don't result without everyone else being involved as well. Blocking on the perimeter has to take place downfield, too.
Roquan Smith, fresh off a solid rookie campaign, in on the tackle for Chicago.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Not able to go anywhere that time. Second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Throwing again on second down. Mahomes. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. And again, it's Mahomes. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
To throw, it's Mahomes. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on,
one?
what does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that part. I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, and it's 3rd down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary here. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case. And that run, that changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to punt the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it.
Just try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Kayvon Webster. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
To throw is Bridgewater. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Deshaun Jackson scoring a touchdown against his former mates. And the Bears have retaken the lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points.
Complete to Deshaun Jackson. Touchdown, Chicago. Jake Elliott on for the touchdown.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Elliott good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people after a while, they don't want to attack.
Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 14 yards into Chicago, first down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run at a varying speed.
And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. Raekwon McMillan. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Third and long for Bridgewater. And Ty Montgomery has it complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to fourth down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They trail 20-13 our score as they have it 1st and 10.
Get ready.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That's going to be caught by Josh Reynolds. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. First down, a run with Cohen. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Here we go, D, all day, defense, all day.
From just shy of midfield, Mahomes. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Ty Montgomery and the offense getting set for their next drive. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
And you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
And bulldozing his way through. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 39 yards there, a big one.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Ed Oliver brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. After the sack on first down, Bridgewater. Chris Conley, the intended receiver. 3rd down here.
The name of the game is always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback. And that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the 2nd interception in the first half.
Bridgewater from the gun on 3rd down. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. start the half. A reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On second down, Montgomery. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
His throw caught right around the 6.
Let's go, boys.
16 yards, a first down.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
From the gun, Bridgewater looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
They'll throw again. Bridgewater. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Deshaun Jackson with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Bears will extend their lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A 10-play drive that time, and the end result is a Bears touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Another try after the first down sack. Mahomes. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Terrell Edmonds comes flying in from safety for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on 4th down. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
Okay, Brandon.
And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because What you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Right here, right here.
Bridgewater completes it to Fant on the right side. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Well, this is caught by Jackson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. 1st down, Bridgewater. And this one's incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. That'll bring up 2nd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
On 2nd down, Bridgewater again. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Chris Conley, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bears will add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Getting set to go here, Teddy Bridgewater and company marches back onto the field. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter. Good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the 3rd.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Bears on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. They'll run here with Balaj. Yeah, boy, a good surge defensively. It'll depend on the mark, but I'm not sure he got there. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. They're indeed going for it. Bridgewater. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And brought down, but the juke, the very nice juke, gives him the 1st down yardage there. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Montgomery.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
To throw again on 2nd down, Bridgewater. And that is incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time. And it's 3rd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And that is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On 2nd and 12, Mahomes. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again here, Teddy Bridgewater coming back onto the field. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
That's what he's done here in this one so far. Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. And now time will be called here as we've got an injured Redskin down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. They'll stay on the ground. Balaj again. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Throw left side complete. It's Montgomery. He's brought down after a pickup of 5, but he needed 8. 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's getting off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage. Okay.
Yeah, in this case.
Here's a carry for the fullback. That's Anthony Sherman. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. Roquan Smith, fresh off a solid rookie campaign, in on the tackle for Chicago.
On just about every team, okay, forget it. On every team, the goal is to be in third and what they call manageable, to give yourself a chance to pick up a first down. How about that call on second down? The big man puts them in position to make it third and manageable. I wonder if he'll get a second chance at it to try and pick up the first down.
On first down, Cohen. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Demario Davis, who was the Saints' leading tackler in his first year in New Orleans, in on the stop. They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. They try again with Cohen. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Now Mahomes. The screen pass here to Cohen. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Bridgewater. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
And with a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. Got some room at the 30. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Ross. And finally taken down at the 36-yard line. 90 yards receiving now for him in the ball game. It's a first down. This quarterback now Nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. And this is the 10th carry for Ty Montgomery. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
At the 36-yard line.
Back now at FedEx Field. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4.
Check 24. Go.
The second down throw for Bridgewater. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Here we go.
Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Bridgewater now. Throw left side complete. It's Ross. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now Balaj. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
A first down throw for Bridgewater. He's got the hook up with Conley. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Looking to throw again on second down. Bridgewater. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Kalen Balaj with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Bears will extend their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him.
Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 26 and a first down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make the play on the football. Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On second down, it's Cohen. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. And this is going to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync.
The pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. In for the sack, Deion Jones. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped him? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down. They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now second and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Call it no gain that time, and now it's third and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably doing play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory. That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a third time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And this will be a touchback as that